Good afternoon, I'm Hope Maka with the news in brief. Port Moresby City is on high alert following a confrontation between students from the University of Papua New Guinea and police. Students at the UPNG campus had planned a protest march to Parliament this morning but was stopped by police. During the confrontation, police reportedly shot at the students who were later transported to the emergency section of Port Moresby General Hospital.
Port Moresby is in shutdown. PMV buses and taxis have stopped operating, and schools and business houses closed soon after shots were fired by police to disperse UPNG students. It was an uneasy sight at the A&E unit that was filled with crowds as they watched ambulances drive in with injured students. When EMTV arrived at the scene, the third ambulance arrived, which got the crowd anxious. Those who were at the hospital were the university students, concerned parents and PMV bus drivers and crew, taxi drivers and members of the public.
Media has to be outside now. Now! Will you escort this media and the gentleman out of this place?
Meanwhile, at the Guinea General Hospital, the main gate was locked to stabilize the injured students to move them to the Port Moresby General Hospital. While EMTV crew was on the scene, another ambulance was also seen leaving the hospital to Pomgen. Meanwhile, in other parts of Port Moresby, the streets of Marat too was on lockdown as crowds gathered around the bus stop. According to eyewitnesses, there was a shootout by the police.
4 students were reported to be in critical condition but were stabilized, and 2 were reportedly discharged. While the city was on lockdown, the Shadow Minister for Justice and Attorney General, Dr. Allan Marat, asked the Prime Minister in Parliament as to who authorised the shooting of unarmed students and why the Prime Minister was not stepping aside as demanded. The Prime Minister responded, but not before some heavy exchanges from both sides.
Who authorised armed policemen to shoot at unarmed students at Fort Benner, University of Papua New Guinea this morning, and why? Secondly, Mr. Deputy Speaker, why can't the Prime Minister step down?
Mr. Speaker, points have been made in a very democratic way, points have been answered. But yet, some people continue not to accept that. Mr. Speaker, the matter has now become a police matter, and we will leave it to that. They will carry out the investigations. In fact, in the coming weeks, we will set up a commission of inquiry to establish what is going on there at the university, Mr. Speaker.
Following today's sitting and despite disapproval from opposition leaders, Parliament has now adjourned to August the 2nd. Meanwhile, the situation in the city is back to normal. However, most major shopping centres have closed their doors and police are on high alert. We'll have more updates on National EMTV News at 6.